Right, we are back. Well, we're without college basketball and women's and men's, but we had some great action this weekend, and we'll talk about that. We got a lot of things going on right now. We are going to have our main man back, the one and only Barry Goldstein. He's going to be breaking down the Masters. What better time of the year than the Masters? I know Teddy loves that stuff. And I want to introduce my co-host on the show for this week, the one and only CEO of the Sports Profits, Teddy Brooks. What's up, Teddy?
Glad to be back. I'm excited for the Masters, man. I went to Live last, I'll talk about it more later, but I went to the Live event over the weekend.
Oh, that was down in Miami, right?
Yep, Doral.
All right, here he is, ladies and gentlemen, with his fancy hat and all, the one and only Big Kahuna, Tommy D of OSB.
Freshly back from Vegas.
That's right. You were out there. How was it?
I'll tell you, it was really good. It wasn't as crowded as I thought. The sports books weren't that crazy, but we had a great time. I hung out at the Circle a lot, and there's nothing like Vegas.
Well, the million-dollar question for me, I don't know if Teddy wants to ask it, how much money did we make? Did we have a profitable trip?
Well, I got to be upfront. I had a little bump in the road for the tournaments. I did predict UConn would win it all, so in the end,
Yes.
I did come up top. But it wasn't the best tournament for me. I chased a lot of the dogs. But we're looking forward to, obviously, the Masters, NBA in play, and UFC 300 this weekend, which you're shooting out there, right?
I am heading out there. I'm leaving tomorrow. I'm going to be out there until Monday.
Wow.
Got a lot of excitement going on. We're going to check out the UFC 300. Going to maybe make some moves in some baseball. Got the NBA winding down, like you said, and just a lot of good things going on. So, yeah, I'm checking it all out. And, this is the time of year you got to take advantage of some opportunities, in the business especially.
Yeah, with what we do, we don't, during the football season, we're like locked in to our command centers, if you will, to our war rooms. So it's nice to expand a little bit when it's a little bit slower.
It's funny. We're going to be bringing Barry on in about a minute or two from now. But when I think of the Masters to me in golf is resembling the Kentucky Derby in horse racing. It's like the ultimate event in the U.S. The Masters is the golden jewel, basically, of golf. Obviously you got the U.S. Open, you got the British Open, and what's the fourth?
Well, now they call it the Open Championship, the British Open. But you got that. Right. You got the PGA. The PGA is the fourth major.
And I'll tell you, it's getting, obviously with Tiger Woods and all, his career and expanding it, the golf has actually been, increasing popularity over the years. And you got some really good talented players. So I think it's time we bring in our one and only, the master himself. Why should we try to master it when we have the ultimate master, Mr. Barry Goldstein? Welcome on, Barry.
Thanks, guys. You're too kind. I appreciate that.
Looking good there, Barry. Got a nice little golf shirt on. I think you're ready to go out and swing some clubs right now after you're done with us.
Hey, it's my career. I'm always ready.
What's your take? I mean, we got the ultimate event going this week, the Masters. I'm sure this is something that you get a little excited about, even all the years you're in the industry.
Heck yeah, guys. This is the best week of the year. I love the Masters and I love the U.S. Open. They're my two favorite events. Like you said, this is the jewel, and I think we're going to have a heck of a week. So the weather could be an issue Thursday. Tomorrow they're expecting a lot of rain and a lot of wind, which could change the course conditions quite dramatically for Thursday, even into Friday. And a lot of guys might not finish Thursday, which will push a lot of the second round Friday almost to sunset, and maybe, who knows, maybe even Saturday will be backed up. But the weather on the weekend is perfect, 76 to 80 degrees, no wind. Yep. So by the weekend, it's going to be perfect. But for guys like Tiger that maybe have some health issues they're dealing with, Thursday and Friday could be a
walking those extra yards. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And,
how does that course drain though? I mean, if they get really hit hard by rain, is it a quick draining course? Because I've heard it's pretty good.
They're amazing. They have things underneath the golf course, like vacuums that suck the water out. And they just have so much money that the drainage is amazing. So, it won't be an issue. The course will be a little muddy. The greens will be a little slower. Tee times will be backed up. But they made one change to the golf course. They changed the second hole. They lengthened it by 10 yards. Number 2, they call it pink dogwood. And it's always been the easiest hole on the golf course. It plays to a 4.7 average, even though it's a par 5. So I think they did that to make it play a little tougher. And there's a right fairway bunker that will come into play more. So that's the only change they've made to the golf course. So
now let me ask you. I mean, I'm not a golf aficionado to even close to your level. On a scale of 1 to 10, I'm probably a half a 1 to you being a 20. But why do they do that? Is it because of these long hitters nowadays? I mean, what is it with the increasing, or they just make changes just to change it up, basically?
Yeah, Scott. What happened is when the equipment got so good 20 years ago, and the ball got so good, and they're hitting the ball so much farther. They used an expression, they tiger-proofed the golf course because he was tearing it up. He was having driver 9-iron and driver wedge into the par 5. So they lengthened the course quite dramatically. And now they just keep doing it each year. They'll make a tweak here, a tweak there. So 10 yards might not seem like a lot, but they also turn the tee a little back to the left.
Right.
So it's going to play out a little different than it has in the past. And I'm sure they're hoping it plays closer to par than 4.7. In other words, the average guy there made birdie there. They're hoping to make it play a little tougher.
Okay. I know This is Teddy's wheelhouse, and he's been dying to get you on the show. He's been asking us for about a month when you're coming back. So
Teddy's a good man.
I'm sure he's got a question or two for you. Go right ahead, Ted.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, Barry, tell us a little bit about Augusta. Seems to be one of those places where there are just players that play well there. Just one off the top of my head, Hideki Matsuyama. Hideki hasn't been playing very well lately, but he has really low odds in this tournament.
20 to 1.
Yeah, well, I was looking at
20 to 1.
I was looking at 16 to 1.
All right, so they're betting him.
Yeah, I was looking at 16 to 1, and there's also a bet him. So they do head-to-head bets in this tournament. So if you don't want to lay odds and go for crazy favorites, they'll put two golfers together, and you just have to bet who's going to have the better tournament. And they put Hideki head-to-head with Brooks, and to me that speaks big time on the fact that Hideki just plays this tournament really well. So speak on that a little bit if you can, how some players just play Augusta well.
Good to see you, Teddy. Here's the thing about Augusta. Thank you. It tends to favor a draw. For our viewers that don't know what that is, it's a ball that turns right to left rather than a fade that turns left to right. And there's a couple of holes, 13 and 15, where a draw really shortens the hole up. So guys that tend to draw the ball will play better there. Guys that hit high fades, maybe. Then again, Tiger's been a high fader, but he can draw it too. There are certain horses for courses, and when we get to our picks later, I got a couple of picks that I'm going to give you, and I pick guys that I think just play well on that golf course or in that part of the country, even, Teddy. The Southeast, Georgia, Augusta, the grass, the Bermuda grass, the type of greens they have there. There are guys that tend to play well on those kind of golf courses. And I think, one thing to take in consideration, Teddy, in the history of the Masters, there's only been 3 guys that have defended their title back-to-back: Jack Nicklaus, Nick Faldo, and, of course, Tiger. Yeah. So the odds of Rahm defending, John Rahm, wonderful player.
Right.
Tough to defend on a course like that. I'm not saying he's not going to. He's the 3rd highest odds to win, but it's tough to repeat on a course like that.
Well, plus everyone's got their bullseye on them. You know what I mean? From winning the year before, they want to knock them off.
And he jumped over to the Live Tour, so it's not like we're seeing his game. Guys like DJ, who's one of my picks this week, we don't really know how they're playing. We don't see them week in, week out. Like Teddy went down to Live. Sergio Garcia's playing good all of a sudden. That's a guy that's won this tournament. He's a super long shot. If a bettor wanted to throw a really, really long shot down, I could see Sergio contending. I mean, he won here. He's certainly young enough still. He's not an old man. Here's another thing, Teddy and guys, Scotty, Tommy D, to keep in consideration. This is probably the easiest major to win in only one regard. There's only 88 players in the field. The U.S. Open, the British Open, the PGA have 156 players.
Yeah.
So you only got to beat 88 guys, and in reality, maybe 40 guys have a shot to win this week. There's guys like Jose Maria Olazabal, Fred Couples, Mike Weir, former winners, Vijay Singh, that are much older, that really you don't give much of a chance to win this tournament. So if you're on your game, you don't have to beat 156 guys. There's only 88 in the field. So not only did Teddy make a good point about horses for courses, it's also only 88 players in the entire field. That makes a huge difference.
Right. So you could probably throw, someone like you that analyzes each and every one of them probably could throw half the field out right from the get-go, unless there was an amazing, maybe even 3/4 of the field out.
For sure. Very rarely do you see a shocking winner at Augusta. I don't know if you guys have noticed, but usually it's tried and true, talented players that win. Once in a while, somebody will come out of nowhere and win. It isn't a top-notch, incredible player, but usually the cream of the crop tends to win at Augusta. Takes a lot of nerves to win there. The greens are incredibly fast and slick and undulating. I think experience and talent really, really helps at Augusta. And I think that's why you see quality winners year in and year out.
Well, if you're going based on that, I don't think anybody's any more quality playing on the top of his A game right now than the guy that putting is the favorite, Scotty Scheffler. He's just playing amazing golf, and he's coming into this tournament about as good as it gets. And that's why his numbers are incredible. He's only minus 450, believe it or not. Those are the lowest numbers I think I've seen in years since Tiger.
I got to be honest with you. If he's putting well, he can win by 6-7 shots. He's that good of a ball striker. I mean, his ball striking is so good, guys. He leads in every category: driving, irons, greens in regulation. He's in the top of every ball striking category. And he just started to make putts in the last couple of weeks. Yeah. If he's putting well, it could be a runaway. It really could. He's that good of a ball striker.
Teddy has another
Barry,
question.
What really impressed me was watching what he did with that neck shoulder injury at the Players. I mean, that was really, I've been watching him. I know he's great. I know he's on another level right now. I think the Tiger comparisons are a little bit early at the moment.
For sure.
People love to compare. They love comparing Mahomes to Brady. People just love doing that type of stuff. But when I saw him win the Players with that injury, that kind of brought me to another level of being impressed with his play. So that was really interesting. And I wanted to say something else. When I was at Live, it was it was my first ever live golf event. I've never been to a PGA event.
Oh, wow.
It was my first ever live golf event. It was really cool. We're going to put some videos up later after you leave the show. The technicalities won't allow us to have you and the videos, but I saw Bryson DeChambeau's drive.
Oh.
That guy, and he trimmed down a lot. He's not as beefy as he was, but that guy's drive, he calls it the one piece drive, I think he calls it. Really different style.
370.
It was insane. I mean, I saw him carry the water 340, 350. Yeah. It was just on another level. I mean, watching everyone shot, the speed is really what got to me. Seeing the speed in person of these pros, it's on another level of anyone.
You watch them and you don't even want to go out.
It actually did make me want to hit the course.
So if you play at the Live, you can't play at Augusta, right?
No, you can.
They are letting them now cross over?
Well, they have been. They did last year,
right.
too.
You guys did.
What really I think what pushed the Live PGA merger was the performance of the Live players at Augusta last year. Yeah. Phil and Brooks were both in the top, right? I think 5, maybe even top 3. So that was impressive. I read something about Matthew Fitzpatrick, Barry. A good golfer who hasn't been playing
40-1, or at least was 40-1.
A good golfer who has not been playing well this year.
The numbers guy, right?
Hey, well, listen, we got to talk numbers.
You mentioned a name, Barry. This guy got a number next.
He's got
listen.
Hey, that's why he's Tommy. That's why he's the big
quote
kahuna.
odds. We're going to talk. You want to quote odds?
Yeah, well.
So I was reading something about how he had a 4-gram weight in his driver that he forgot about and his team forgot about, and they removed that weight from his driver, and he's been playing much, much better. And it just goes to show you something so small like that can really change the game. So you got to look at something like that and say, well, he has really long odds. Will the odds makers factor that weight change in, or do they not know about it, and can we get some good odds on Fitzpatrick? So little stuff like that, I think, it's important to look at from a standpoint of betting.
You know, one other thing I think is pretty cool too. Today they have the par 3 challenge, whatever they call it, contest. I think that's a pretty cool event. What do you think of those? The par 3s.
Yeah, I've been to that. It's pretty amazing.
Isn't it?
Here's a really interesting fact, guys. Nobody has won the par 3 event and then turned around and won the tournament. So it's almost a jinx when you win the par 3 event because nobody's ever turned around and won on Sunday after winning on Wednesday. But yeah, getting back to what Teddy brought up, a good point. I think a guy like Fitzpatrick, I've stood next to him. He's a slender guy, a little guy, and he tried to find distance. He won the U.S. Open a couple of years ago, and he tried to increase his distance, and he kind of struggled for a while. So sometimes you got to bring what brought you to the dance and just stick with her. He tried to change a little bit. Hopefully he'll find his way back. Like you said, little changes, but yeah, the par 3 contest, Scott, that's a cool event.
How about when Jack Nicklaus's grandson got the hole-in-one? I think there was the guy before him got a hole-in-one, and then the next one up was Jack Nicklaus's grandson, and he also got a hole-in-one on the same.
And how cool to be able to watch Jack Nicklaus compete and play in that little tournament. I mean, how cool is that?
Yeah, Lee Trevino, Jack Nicklaus, Gary
right,
Player.
The legends.
Yeah.
The real legends of the game.
Well, I want to get right down to it. This is brass knuckles time. I want to get your picks on this year's Masters. Your top few plays, or maybe your top plays you think are going to get there, and maybe a long shot or two that you think can shine.
First off, I've done a lot of thinking about this for you guys. I knew I was coming on today. Let's touch on Tiger really briefly, and then I'll get to my picks.
Okay.
I like Tiger to make the cut. He's never missed it except in 1996.
Minus 110.
Okay.
Yeah, I just feel like I think that's
he's never lost.
Okay. Getting to who's going to win. Out of the favorites.
Hold on real quick, Barry. I just got to say one thing. Tiger Woods. So I'm looking at the Hard Rock app, and they have tournament lines, matchup, first round leader. Tiger Woods has his own section for betting on the app. Yep. All right, I'll let
Tiger's the man.
Yeah, you could bet on his top 30, top 40, make the cut. He's actually minus 120 to make the cut. So, guys, that's one of Barry's picks. Tiger Woods minus 120 to make the cut. Well, on Hard Rock, it's 120.
Right.
I like that pick. Now, to win, which we're all about, out of the favorites, it's hard to turn away from Scottie Scheffler the way he's playing.
Wow.
I feel like the way he's playing, out of the favorites, out of those top 4 or 5 guys, I really like Scheffler. I know the odds aren't great. What is it, 475?
Yeah, around 450, 475 minus, which is real low odds.
Real low. I feel like he's having a season right now kind of from heaven. He's playing at a very high level. I would say my next level, Don, if I was picking somebody to win out of the next group of favorites, you guys might be surprised by this, but I saw that he was with his father-in-law working on his mental game, the great Gretzky.
Yeah.
I like DJ. I think DJ, a former winner here. I think Dustin Johnson's a guy that if he's playing well, it's a par 68 for him because of how far he hits the ball. I could see DJ this week playing very well. Now, there's a guy from the Live Tour.
Yeah.
Might not be a popular victory if he won, but I just feel like I know how good he was before he jumped over to the Live Tour. He was probably the best player in the world for 3-4 years, 2-3-4 years anyway. You go down to the next level of guys. I gave you this pick. I've talked to him on the phone. I've taught a good friend of his. He's called me about lessons I've never taught him. There's a guy named Russell Henley who came in, I want to say top 5 last year. Pretty good odds. He's a long shot. He's a medium shot, but he's from Georgia. He grew up an hour or 2 away from Augusta. He tends to play good at the Masters, and I could see he's never won a major, so he's got that going against him. But I have been picking Russell Henley to win a major, and I think maybe this is the week. And then there's another guy. Remember Brian Harman, who won the British Open last year? Brian is also from Macon, Georgia, just like Russell. And I teach a friend of theirs, so I keep up on their games pretty good. And I could see Brian Harman being a threat this week. And then if you want to go way down to the long shots, not such a long shot, but one of my daughter's teammates at LSU, a guy named Sam Burns. Sam has won multiple times on the PGA Tour, has not won a major yet. I could see Sam Burns again, he was a teammate on my daughters at LSU, so I know a lot about him. I think he's going to win a major. I don't know when. I could see it possibly being this week. He's playing very well this year. And if you want to go way down the list,
How much lower can we go?
We can go way down.
We're talking now, guys.
Don't say Tommy D now.
No,
is the next one on the list. I
don't think they'd let me on, Augusta.
So just to let the audience know, Sam Burns is plus 6,000 and Russell Henley is plus 5,000.
Wow.
I'd like both of them to do some noise here. I mean, maybe it's a good pick to top 5. Maybe it's a good pick to top 10. But I'm going to give you one out of the blue. It's not that out of the blue if you think about it. Last year, he came in second place. Greatness never goes away, and I feel like he's got a huge chip on his shoulder. Phil Mickelson, the odds are massive.
Wow.
He came in second.
Yeah.
He came in second place last year. Talk about a course for horses. He's left-handed. He can hit his fade there. He doesn't have to play a draw.
I wonder who he's betting.
I mean, yeah, great line right
yeah,
there.
but the problem with that, Barry, it comes back with that weather situation. If it drags on and they have to play extra rounds, won't that affect a guy like Mickelson? He's older,
Not like Tiger.
He doesn't have the injury issues.
Yeah, true.
Exactly. And I feel like Mickelson's the kind of guy. I know he's got a chip on his shoulder because he used to be one of the top, most popular players in the world.
Yep.
And now everybody can't stand him because of a lot of his comments and jumping to the live tour.
Right.
I'm not saying he's going to win, but he came in second place last year, guys. And greatness has a way of never going away.
Barry, every selection you made, it's funny because it used to be like a British kind of thing. Every pick was an American. I guess you think the Americans are going to dominate this tournament.
That's a great point. I might be a little biased. I'm a dyed-in-the-wool in the American guy. If I were to pick, I'll tell you, if you were going to pick somebody from out of country.
No, you don't have to. I'm just saying. I was just mentioning.
I am a very American guy. I think you just made a good point. I might have overlooked some of the Europeans and Australians, but I just feel like the odds are astronomical against a guy like Mickelson. I believe he's won there 3 times.
Yep.
That's a lot of wins on a golf course. He might have won twice, but could be 3 Masters he's got. Tiger's got 5. I just feel like greatness has a way of not. When you're a winner, you don't forget how to win. You might have injuries.
What would the TV ratings be on Sunday walking down the 18th hole with Tiger Woods and Phil Mickelson going for the championship of the Masters? What do you think? That would be skyrocket.
Guys. One last thing about Tiger. Okay, I've been asked this a lot over the last week. And I know his body is beat to a pulp, but if Tiger makes a cut and could be anywhere within 4 or 5 shots on Sunday,
oh yeah,
that knowledge, that greatness, that experience of winning 5 times, you can't put a dollar value on that. You remember in 2019, all of those guys fell off and Tiger won the tournament?
Sure. They get nervous.
A guy like Mickelson, guys like that know how to win. And, I raised a daughter that won 105 golf tournaments. There's something to be said for knowing how to win. When you're near the lead, there's a way that you just hang in there. You let others fall away. You make a birdie at the right time. I never count out greatness. And 2 guys like that, it's awful hard to just say, forget Tiger, forget Phil. I get it.
Yep.
They're old. Tiger's body is beat up. I totally get it.
Yep.
But
how old is Mickelson now? He's in his 50s, right?
Well, he's got to be.
I want to say, I believe he's 50, 51.
Yeah.
I've been to Augusta National. One thing that our viewers might not realize, the bettors that we're talking to, it's a very, very hilly golf course. You can't see that on TV. It's not an easy walk. That for Tiger might be a big issue. Just what he's been through the last 2-3 years. It's a very hilly track. It's way hillier than you guys can imagine watching it on television. I mean, It's straight uphill, straight downhill, and that's tough when your legs aren't healthy. That's hard. As a golfer, as someone who's played his whole life, side hill lies are challenging in their own right. But if you're not healthy, they're really challenging.
Yeah, okay. I was watching something about Tiger, and he was talking about how he has good days and bad days as far as his aches, pains.
Did you hear what he said on the interview the other day? He says, if I play my perfect game, he thinks he can win.
I think
what's
he could
the perfect
too.
game
The perfect game is he has to put 4 days in a row together.
Yep.
No aches, no pains.
Right.
Maybe a little painkiller. I don't know what the guy does, but he's got to have 4 perfect days in a row. Not just his perfect game one day. He's got to play his perfect game 4 days in a row. Age is not the friend of these tournaments.
On that note, though, I just wanted to, ask Barry. I think golfers are not respected as much as other athletes, but they got to be perfect for 4 days in a row.
Yes.
A basketball player plays 3 hours. Football, 3 hours. These guys got to go out.
What do you mean? Basketball players play 4 times a week, though.
Right, but per game, three hours. These guys got to win. They got to be perfect for 4 days in a row. I think they're amazing athletes.
And the thing with a basketball player is
Yeah.
they can have an off night, but their team can carry them a little bit.
Right.
That doesn't happen in golf.
This is not a team sport. It's
It's
one
an
person.
individual sport, but these guys got to be on target for 4
I think
days.
that's-
Very well said.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think that's
Very well
why
said.
you see. I
There
think
you go,
that's
Big Una.
See?
that's why you see the young.
That's why we bring them on here.
That's why they brought me on here.
That's why you see the young players. Not only just their health and wellness regimens are way more advanced than they used to be, and the winners are getting younger and younger and younger. The oldest person ever to win a major was Phil Mickelson at 50.
Hey, when's the next major coming up? Because we want to definitely have you coming back on here, keeping our audience updated. Whether it's the U.S. Open,
Happy to do it. The
British
PGA champ.
Okay.
Okay, so coming up, we've got the PGA Championship, the U.S. Open, and the British Open, and the PGA Championships up in Kentucky
All
at
right.
Valhalla. I believe that's late May. The U.S. Open is in June.
All right.
Usually Father's Day Sunday is always the last round, and the British is usually in late July, early August, just depending on where they're playing. So
Right.
we can do this again. And what Tommy D just said about the athletes, he couldn't be more accurate. Tiger made working out a must for golf. Tiger made hitting the gym a must. The days of a guy having, except for John Daly, the days of a guy having 10 beers and 10 hot dogs and going out and playing golf are long over. But
Yeah.
Tommy D, that was a wonderful point about golfers are big time.
Well, that's why we pay him the big salary, Barry,
Oh,
because
sure.
he asks the big questions here. You know what I mean?
I get lunch after
We're just
this.
part of this circus, Teddy and I.
They feed me.
You guys
Listen-
are good people. Good people. It's a pleasure
But
coming
Barry-
on the show. with
But
you guys.
also, I hear you're going to be on a very big radio station on Thursday.
yeah.
Tell us about that, please.
Yeah, well, I do it. This will be my 3rd year in a row. I'm going to do a Masters preview on the Mad Dog Sports, which is
Wow.
channel 82 on Sirius Radio with Mad Dog's show. But Danny Cahnnel is a student of mine, the old quarterback for the Giants in Florida State. Danny's hosting. He's taking over for Mad Dog tomorrow. And Danny and I do a Masters preview every year together, usually on the Dusty and Danny show. But this time it'll be on the Mad Dog Sports show. That's tomorrow, Thursday, 4 o'clock. Channel 82 Sirius Radio. So if you guys tune in.
You're too big for us. We got to find smaller
Wow,
guests.
yeah.
You're too
Never
big. You're
too
too big time for us.
You guys are good people. I feel like I've known you forever. You're just good guys.
When
So
you're
I
hanging
enjoy
out with
coming
Mad Dog, I think you're a little you're a little above the Tommy D and Scotty M and Teddy Brooks show.
I know Mad Dog is Chris, but yeah, his name is Mad Dog. And,
He's good. He's good. I like
He's
him.
one of my favorites.
He is good.
Remember
He is
that?
good.
Remember that clip we put for college football season with him? That
Yeah.
was funny.
Oh yeah, and he loves to gamble. He's into sports betting.
yeah.
That's for
Barry,
sure.
Big time.
Before we let you go, Barry, I have 2 top 10 bets that I've been eyeballing all week. I just want your quick
Okay.
opinions on them. I'm looking at Xander Schauffele. He's a consistent, guy that
For sure.
that always comes in high. He's plus 140 to finish in the top 10. And then Jordan Spieth, who didn't do too bad in the Masters last year, he's plus 210 to finish in the top 10. I think I'm going to play
I
both of
love
those.
them both, buddy. I think you've got really good taste. The way I look at both of those guys, hey, Jordan's won the Masters. Jordan can win this tournament if his game is on. And as far as Xander, what I see in him, he's just a guy that's always there who has never broken through and won that big event. Who's to say this isn't the week? They're both playing decent. Spieth, I could see Jordan battling on Sunday for the title. So
Yep.
I think he got good taste. I like both of those picks.
Well, now I'm going to put some more on him.
There you go. You seem to know your golf very well. 'cause those
So
are-
Barry, how can the people reach you out there? Is there a way they can reach out to you? You
Sure, you
on
can.
social media or anything? Just give
I
your
am. I'm on
information.
Yes, I'm on Facebook, and I'm always teaching golf. You want to get a hold of me, you could just 954-796-7506. I live in Florida, down by you guys all winter, and I live up here in upstate New York all summer. I just got here, so I'm waiting for the good weather. It's a little cold and rainy today, but I just love coming on your show. You guys are great guys, and I love what you do, and I feel like this is just fun stuff. I enjoy kicking it around with you guys.
Well, we appreciate it.
Yeah.
And give Danny Cahnnel a big thumbs up from us. And we look forward to seeing you back on here. And, again, we appreciate – I know you're a busy man, and we do appreciate the time you gave us because I know Masters Week you got a lot of stuff going on with different shows that you're going to be going on. So, again, thanks for everything. And we'll reach out to you and hopefully have you back on here either in May or June for those events coming up in golf. Have a great day. Enjoy the Masters.
Good luck.
You too, guys. Have a great week.
Thank you, sir. All right. There you go. Hey, I know that's your first love.
I'm fired up.
Interesting dude, you know? The guy knows his stuff.
Real deal. Real.
Yeah.
Nice guy, too.
Very nice.
It's hard to find nice guys and that know their stuff, especially on top of it. But
you know what? Most golf people, with the exception of a few, are just – it's called the gentleman's sport for a reason.
Well, every time I go out there, I don't think I become a gentleman. I get a little pissed off when I'm out there. Sometimes start swinging clubs and cutting up grass. I don't know. It's not a good day sometimes. They say you go there, you relax and enjoy the day. I don't know. I leave there, I feel like I got to pop like a pill or something.
Yeah.
But anyways, listen, we got a lot of stuff going on. Obviously, our sports world is kind of quiet. I mean, think about it. We're mourning a little bit. We lose football. We lose college football. The NFL, we lose college basketball, women's and men's. So now we're down to the final week of the NBA, right? Then they're going to play.
Hockey's winding down.
Hockey's looking dynamite. I love hockey playoffs. What about you?
You know what I love is hockey playoffs are so long. There's so many games.
2 months.
It's almost like another season.
2 months.
So is the NBA playoffs for the most part. In play starts next week. And
Lakers took a drubbing last night. Golden State put a little ass kicking on them.
Yeah.
I guess what was it? LeBron and AD were both out. I think AD was definitely out. Golden State handled that, so I think they're going to end up facing each other right in the play-in run.
Yeah, they're 9-10 playing for that last spot.
I don't know. The NBA is interesting right now because the Celtics were like dominating, and they kind of, I don't know. They've been like a little tailing off. Maybe they're just taking the.
Well, they clinched everything.
Yeah, so I guess
they don't.
Maybe they're just resting. Maybe they're just kind of staying chill.
Yeah, and you got the Knicks picking it up a little bit. This Brunson, man, I'll tell you, great.
Yeah,
Brunson. Did you have some clips you wanted to show a little later in the show?
I was at the. I was going to show. I wanted to show him while Barry was on, but I was at the Live Golf Tournament, and we got. Just to let everyone know, if you're a golf fan, there's a lot of controversy around Live, but they really know how to put on a good tournament. Very family friendly. They had a ton of games for kids. They had, when you're golfing, there's a cart girl that drives around and serves drinks.
Sure.
There were like 15 cart girls just driving around, which the PGA.
You would have loved that.
Hey, you should have invited me, man.
He would have tried to knock him over or something.
Well,
but I want to show the people how close I got, and I got Brooks Koepka and Phil Mickelson here. So this one is Brooks, just right there.
Where are you?
I'm filming.
Okay. Oh, I know that, but that's you right over there.
Yeah, that's me. That's how close I was. I was about from me to Ben, which in a PGA event, it's a lot harder to get that close. And this is, of course, Phil Mickelson. Barry was talking about him. They call him the lefty.
He wears shorts. I thought he usually.
They all do.
Oh, really?
On Live.
Different kind of vibe.
That's part of Live is you can wear shorts.
Okay. And then when they hit that thing, you go, "Oh man, what the hell am I even doing here? I can't hit a golf ball."
Mickelson, his big sponsor was that accounting firm, I think, at one time, but I don't know if he's with them anymore.
BK, 3 letters. I forget the.
Right.
Yeah.
But they don't have the same sponsors in Live?
No. Live is very different. They all wear their teams. It's all about teams. They put a big, like when you go there.
What did Mickelson get? Like 200 million? Or something like crazy number?
I heard 3.
Yeah.
I heard 3.
Yeah, 300 million.
But
that's right. Would you jump for 300 million from where you're at?
I would not only jump, I'd do somersaults.
Tiger Woods turned down $900 million.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Well, when you're a billionaire, I mean, you can turn it down, I guess. But hey, listen, you know what? The golf is cool. I mean, we had this guest we had on today. He's dynamite. He gave you guys some good advice. What do you want to? What about this baseball? I mean,
I
I know it's early.
The Yankees are shocking me right now.
10-2.
They just keep winning.
Yeah.
I thought they were going to have some issues. And
Well, they're playing the Marlins, so
True.
Marlins are 1-10.
And then another team, I think we talked about this already, but the Pirates are very surprising. I've been betting the Pirates and making some good money with them.
The Tigers.
Tigers always seem to have their runs. Pirates have just been notoriously bad for years, so they're really shocking
How
me.
about the Braves the last 2 nights? I have them on the run line, up 5-0.
Yeah, the amazing Mets. All
We're
of a
talking
sudden.
falling apart against the Mets.
Did they beat the Mets last night?
No, Braves won, but I had a -1.5.
Right,
but
they won
both
by-
nights they were up 4-5-0. Their pitches just fell apart.
Bullpen pitching is just not
Yeah.
of the highest quality right now.
As we always tell you guys, you got to look for value on certain games. A perfect example, Tommy just mentioned. I mean, you try to use these big favorites. You take away the juice. You lay 1.5 runs. You think it's going to be a steal. It's not as easy as it looks. So it's always good to look for much better matchups, maybe much better value teams. Yeah, these big favorites. Yeah, it looks easy, but it's not as easy as it looks at the end of the day. Obviously.
It's not. And looking at profitability on these baseball teams, I just looked it up. The Yankees and the Pirates are the 2 most profitable teams, followed by the Cleveland Guardians. And then after that, you got to be real careful because a lot of these teams are negatives as far as profit goes, just betting on them. So
It's early, though.
It is.
How many
Of
games?
course.
Yeah.
It
10,
is.
11 games in the year.
It's,
I mean, the Yankees are smoking. I mean, they're 10-2, and they got their best pitcher. Won't be back for 2 months. Cole. Imagine when he comes back. If they stay healthy, how dangerous the Yankees are.
I
going
think
to be.
Ohtani just hit his first home run.
No, he's had a couple.
Has he?
Yeah, he's had a couple. I think him and Judge. I was talking with you about that earlier. Remember?
They
Who's
fired a
gonna
few
hit-
off since then.
Yeah, who's going to hit it? Who's going to hit more home runs this year? Either Ohtani or Judge. I'd like to see what happens there, but they're both slow at this point in time. I mean, they haven't got off to any quick start. But yeah, baseball's interesting. You got the thing that I think I'm going to get a little excited about is this NHL playoffs. I got to be honest. I really like NHL hockey. The intensity level, guys, when the playoffs start is amazing. I mean, these guys really, really go at each other. And we got that starting up in about, what, a week? Less than a week?
Yeah.
Talk about UFC 300. You're going out to Vegas.
I am going out to Vegas. I am going to be checking out the UFC.
They say that's going to be not necessarily the best fighters, but they're saying the biggest event ever in UFC
yeah, they
history.
say that. Let me
They
tell you.
said that about 200, right?
I was just going to say. I've had the fortunate. I went to UFC 100. I went to UFC 200. And I'm going to UFC 300. So I've been at all these, so-called the monster events so far with the UFC. Yeah, they hype it up all the way. But, listen, there's going to be some really good matchups there. I'm looking forward to it. I'm taking my little guy with me. He's into it big time. So it's going to be a fun.
Thanks for the invite.
Yeah, why am I not coming? Where's my invite?
Guys, I mean, I can only get so many tickets.
right,
Come on.
yeah, no.
It's UFC.
Come on, you're bringing your son over Tommy D. What's wrong with you?
Well, Big Kahuna just came back
I just
from
came
Vegas.
back.
I don't think he wants to get on
I'm
a
a
plane.
little burnt with Vegas. We were there 3 weeks ago. What kills you? Vegas is great, but that red eye coming back to South Florida, you get on there 10:30, 11. You get off the plane at 6:30 in the morning. It beats you up a little for a few days.
Oh, yeah.
But it was well worth it.
Now, do you sleep on the plane?
I cannot
I
sleep on a
sleep-
plane, man.
That's how my wife
I try
is.
to put
Yeah, I
the
like
tray
sleeping.
down. I was stuck in the middle, monkey in the middle, 2 people.
In the middle.
I got
Wait
in the
a
middle,
second.
yeah.
The Big Kahuna's sitting in
Hey,
middle seats.
listen, I was in
Ben,
the middle seat.
We got to replace this guy.
I checked in late, and I cannot sleep on a plane. I don't care what position I'm in. I mean,
Wow.
I need to resort
Well,
to
you should have just rolled over to the person next to you and just fell asleep.
Well, she
on
was
the-
pretty cute, let me tell you, but you can get in trouble if you do that these days.
Yeah, I can sleep like a log on a plane. My
Really?
wife can't. So
No.
for me, we do a red eye. We get to our destination. I'm all ready to go, and she's like, "All right, let's go to the hotel and take a nap."
No.
Yeah, it's a killer flight, especially when you're going. Don't forget, you're going out there for 3 days. So you're flying 5 hours. You're staying a couple of days, then you're flying 5 hours. Then you got the 3-hour time difference. So it could wear on you.
West Coast time, if you're an East Coast guy like we are, I don't know if I would ever get used. I was getting up 4 in the morning in Vegas.
Yeah, I do that too.
I get up 7 in the morning here.
Right.
I'm up at 4. I'm on my laptop, pitch black. I started my day. It's crazy.
This guy was doing videos. It was pitch black during the day, and it was pitch black at night. He was doing so much content out there that was just.
I shot a lot. I was like a shout out to the Circa. Circa is just an amazing place to hang out for an experience, to either bet games or just watch.
I saw
games.
your setup out there. It was pretty cool.
No, you get a little couch there you reserve for the day. You get lunch. The drinks flow.
Now here's a guy that just sat in the middle seats and he's paying $1,500 to sit on the couch at the Circa by himself.
It wasn't exactly $1,500, but you can get a good
spend wisely.
Yeah, but it was great. We're going to probably be heading back in a few months as well, but we'll talk about that.
Oh, we got to head back.
Yeah.
So who do you guys like in the NHL playoffs? I'm looking at the Rangers making a run. I'm looking at the Predators making a run.
You know who's hot right now?
The
Carolina.
Stars, the Hurricanes.
Yeah.
I had them last night. Great odds. They were like minus 120 or 130 last night. Good
minus 120 in Boston, though.
Yeah.
That was a strange price, and it went up. I like that play, and I didn't use it. I kind of kicked myself.
Now that I think about it, that was my free play on Instagram and YouTube yesterday. I completely forgot.
Did the Rangers who won last night?
No, the Islanders won.
Islanders beat the Rangers
I think
at the
they beat 'em
Garden.
up. No, it was in Long Island. It wasn't at the Garden. The Rangers were on the road. But the Rangers,
they technically play in Queens, right next.
20 minutes apart.
Yeah.
That's the cool thing about hockey,
Belmont.
though. Like you look at the NBA.
Hot goaltending, man.
You look at the NBA, and you're like, well, realistically, besides maybe the Thunder, the Nuggets, the Timberwolves, and then on the East, maybe the Bucks and the Celtics. I mean, it's like a 3, 4, 5 horse race. I feel like hockey's a 10-horse race.
Yeah. No, definitely. There's a lot more teams that have shot. Like these two teams from Winnipeg, Vancouver, they're playing well. Vegas
the
Knights.
Oilers have declined a little bit.
They're still playing well, though. Edmonton's got a solid record. Like you said, Carolina, the Bruins, the Panthers. I mean,
Nashville.
I'm probably missing.
I like Nashville, the Predators a lot.
But right now, if I had to pick a team to win the NHL, I couldn't do it right now. I need a little more time.
It's hard. Yeah, it's hard. I bet you could for the NBA.
Hot goalie, though. You get a hot goalie, man, they carry you.
It's important. That's what the Panthers had last year with Sergio Bobrovsky. He
took
very
off.
hot.
Yeah, and they got all the way to the finals. But they ran into a buzzsaw with Vegas, and their goalie too was on fire. So, hey guys, we got a lot.
I just wanted to jump one quick thing. I mean, with this Caitlin Clark and everything.
Oh yeah, go right ahead.
Betting volume for women's sports during the tournaments, March Madness, was up 14 times from last year. And the WNBA, I mean, we've been talking about this. This is going to get really big.
Oh yeah.
Now, here's my question. And by the way, the women's Final Four, I think, had more viewers than the men's Final Four.
Crazy.
Is now.
Well, think about it.
Is that more of a good thing for women's basketball, or is that more of a red flag for men's college basketball? You saw what Shaq said. Shaq said, "I don't know the name of one player in the Final Four."
I think it's great for both. I really do.
I think it's great for both.
Yeah, because it's going to give you a lot more, choices to watch women's basketball as well as men's. Yeah.
Now, is this?
It might tail off though, because
I was going to say, is this an anomaly? Because here's my opinion, and it might be unpopular, but besides Caitlin Clark, it's still tough for me to watch women's college basketball. And is this going to be the type of thing where once she's gone, it's going to kind of go back down, or is the talent going to get better? Like, why is she so much better than most of the women out there? Are there going to be more? Is it going to be like after Tiger Woods in golf? Tiger Woods brought golf to another level.
Oh, yeah. Dominated.
And now the talent level in golf is so much higher overall because more people got into it.
A bigger pool of
more
talent.
young people got into it. So is that what Caitlin Clark's going to do, or is it going to fade back to where it was? That's the question.
You don't forget, it was a combination not only of Caitlin Clark being the best scorer in the history of women's basketball, but you had a team like South Carolina going for a perfect season as well.
Perfect season. I think only 3 losses in the last 3 years.
And UConn being in there,
Crazy.
all their injuries to get to the Final Four as well.
And Angel Reese, she's pretty popular.
And the girl from the Juju from USC.
Yep.
USC having a huge year. So a lot of popularity. Yeah, a lot of people jumped on it. And, hey, that's great. Why not? The women are pretty good. I'll tell you, they can shoot, man.
They can shoot. It was very entertaining to watch.
They can shoot. I mean, not only they good shooters, but I mean they're great foul shooters as well. And then maybe their defense isn't as good as the men's, but overall game, I got no issue with it.
They actually shoot. I was talking about this on the last show. A lot of these teams have higher free throw percentages than the men's teams.
Yes, they do.
That's crazy to me. I mean, you guys. The men's free throw shooting was really, Shaq had a point. Like these men's players need to step up their game a little bit.
Well, I think we touched every base there is out there. We did a little baseball. We talked about Vegas. We talked about golf. I mean, you name it. Anything you want to add before we go? Are you guys good?
No UFC predictions?
Oh, I want to add something.
It's too early.
We had the
I'm going to meet Matty Betts.
We had the pillow fighting guy.
Yes.
And we were talking about pillow fighting and getting it to
Steve Williams.
Getting Steve Williams and getting it to a level of betting. Power Slap, we were talking about it last week, is now officially on Prize Picks. So you can now bet Power Slap on Prize Picks.
It's funny. I was watching Shark Tank last night. On one of the episodes, they had a pillow guy. Not that it was pillow fighting, but when the guy left, they all started hitting each other with the pillows. It was riding around like, wow, look at this. They're getting into pillow fighting on the show.
Also on that note, Hard Rock has pickleball odds now. There's local tournaments here in South Florida. I'm going to try to get someone on the show, but now you could bet pickleball at the Hard Rock. Crazy.
Yeah.
All right, guys.
Pickleball's big.
I think Ben's looking at us like we went overboard on.
Get the hell out of here.
All right, listen, Big Kahuna. Tell everyone where they can find you because you're putting out more content than 1,000 people.
My IG channel is going to hit 20,000 followers this week. OSB_sports. That's my baby. I put at least 2 predictions up nightly. YouTube, OSB-sports. And check out the website. I have that odds comparison feed, onlinesportsbet.com.
All right. Any pick in the Masters? I know you're not a big golfer.
I'm gonna go run to the Hard Rock and take some of these long shots that Barry recommended. I'm telling you, I'm gonna look for a nice little long shot to come in.
All right. Well, here he is, ladies and gentlemen, the one and only Teddy Brooks. Where can they find you? And you still putting out a good win percentage on those free plays?
Oh, Scotty. I earned this hat this week, so all right. And you guys know Billy the Beard. He's been killing it too. He's 6-0 in his last 6. We're 84, 35, and 2.
Nice
so far this year on free games.
Wow,
good numbers,
including 3-0 last night from me and Billy combined. You could find those picks at youtube.com/@thesportsprofits. You can also find those picks at Instagram, _profits_pick. Guys, I just want to say something. We applied for our blue check. We sent them articles of incorporation. We sent them everything they asked for, and they told us no, to try again in 30 days.
Why?
I don't know. They didn't give a reason.
And I see other ones out there that have less, and they have it.
Yeah. 35,000 followers. I sent them our official articles of incorporation. They didn't give it to us, but we're going to try again. But until then, guys, keep subscribing, and maybe if we get some more subscribers, they'll give us another shot on the next go around.
All right, just like I asked him, picking the Masters.
Those 2 picks that I ran across Barry, I really like those picks. So Xander Schauffele to finish in the top 10 is +140. These aren't long shots. These are reasonable, makeable bets.
Right.
And then Jordan Spieth to finish in the top 10 is +200. And then, of course, my favorite golfer, Brooks Koepka. I'm putting some money on him to win it all. I always
think Panthers fan too, Brooks.
Big Panthers fan, hometown guy, local guy. He grew up, I think he went to Spanish River High School, grew up right here in Boca, went to FSU for college. His wife was there. I actually bumped into his wife's stroller. She was rolling around their newborn. I bumped into the stroller. It was cool. Live. It had all the regular people mixed in with the elites, I guess you want to call them.
So you enjoyed the day.
Oh, it was amazing.
All right, cool.
I'd recommend it to everybody. But yeah, I like those two, and then I like Brooks. I'm sprinkling a little money on Brooks as a mid-level guy to win it all.
All right, you heard it. The two great experts I have on here with me each and every week. I'm Scott Matthews. I host this great show right here, the OSB Sports Podcast Show. You could check me out on Instagram at SM Sports Picks, Picks, and also on TikTok, SM Picks, Picks. This show is each and every week, guys. We just try to get you all kinds of good stuff going on in the sports world, outside the sports world. But you can find this show on all podcast forums. That's the beauty of it. You don't have to hear it live. You can hear it all the time. Just go on either Apple or Spotify or YouTube. Again, OSB Sports Podcast. We're going to be back here next week. I'm heading out to Vegas, and I'm looking forward for that USC 300. I'll be giving you some good stuff and some details and some video on that.
Get us some videos for the show.
Definitely will. All right, guys, have a great day. We'll see you back here next week.